So we talked about addition, subtraction, now product or multiplication. So suppose you have two complex numbers and I ask you to multiply them. Suppose you have A plus IB multiply C plus ID. So some of you might say, hey, the method is called FOIL. Some others might say just distribution. We're going to distribute A into parentheses, then we're going to distribute IB into parentheses. So you have AC plus IAB plus IBC plus I squared BD. Since I is equal to square root of -1, I squared is -1. So wherever you see I squared, we're going to quickly switch that with -1. So this guy is equal to AC plus IAD plus IBC minus BD. So your multiplication becomes addition and subtraction. All right. And as you know how to handle this scenario. For example, the only thing that you need to note, the only important note is wherever you see I squared, substitute that with -1. This is the important thing that you need to remember. For example, suppose I ask you to multiply 1 plus I and 4 minus 3I. Well, you're going to say that, hey, I'm going to distribute 1 into parentheses, then I'm going to move on and distribute I into parentheses. So you have 1 times 4, which is 4, 1 times -3I minus 3I, then you're going to move on to I times 4, 4I, and then you have -3I squared. Wherever you see I squared, we're going to switch that with -1. So this guy becomes 4 minus 3I plus 4I minus 3 times -1. So you have 4. Adding these two, this is -3I plus 4I, -3 apples plus 4 apples becomes 1 apple. And here you have -3 times -1, positive 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus I is the answer. Another example for you. Suppose I ask you to multiply conjugates. Multiply 2 plus 3I by its conjugate. So whenever you see a number, like a complex number, A plus IB or A plus BI, its conjugate is A minus BI. There's another important note for you to remember. If you have a complex number, A plus BI, its conjugate is A minus BI. The only thing we change is the sign between real part and imaginary part. So in this question says, hey, multiply 2 plus 3I by its conjugate. Okay, so let's see. I have the number 2 plus 3I. Then I'm going to multiply that by the conjugate 2 minus 3I. Well, let's see what happens. By distribution, 2 is distributed into parentheses, 4 minus 6I. Then we have 3I distributed into parentheses, plus 6I minus 9I squared. Very good. You can quickly see that -6I and 6I, they're opposite of each other, they cancel out. So you're left with 4 minus 9, and I squared is -1. So wherever you see I squared, you quickly substitute -1 for that. Here you have 4, multiplication comes first, -9 times -1 is positive 9, so the outcome is 30. When you multiply a complex number by its conjugate, the outcome is always a real value. Okay, It's very similar to what you saw before in algebra. If you have a plus b times a minus b, the outcome is a squared minus b squared. So take a look at this. A is 2, b is 3i. So you have a squared, which is 4, minus b squared, 3i to the second. Or it is 4 minus 9i squared, or 4 minus 9 times negative 1, or 4 plus 9, or 30.